Hello twin flames, welcome to my channel. Whether you're new or you're coming back, happy Friday everyone, happy solstice everyone. If you haven't seen the video that I made for the solstice specifically, check it out. It's the previous video on the channel, and we're going to be in solstice energy for a few more days. So if you've missed the chance to do special ritual, special cleansing, special manifestation, whatever kind of maybe a meditation or prayer that will help with certain acknowledgement and realization, you still have time for all of that. And please do not hesitate to use this powerful time to unlock new doors and to enable further progress in your ascension journey, on your twin flame journey. Right, today we're going to do ancestor messages reading. So I have, well, it will be actually our usual reading, but we'll start with the messages, and we will with the messages from the ancestors, and then we will proceed with our usual tarot spread to check out the energies, then the answer to additional question, and of course how the twins seeing each other at this time. All right, let's see what we have. An ancestor message for divine feminines, first of all. Next week we have full moon in Cancer. It's on the 26th or the 27th of December, depending where you're located in the world. And I will also be doing a special set of readings for each zodiac signs for next year predictions. And of course, January reading. So there's like a lot going on in terms of content next week. Okay, so for feminines, we have Lord, take charge with authority. So this is the equivalent of an Emperor card, really, right? So feminines are asked to take decisive action. We've seen that message for a while in the recent videos. This is that mode where you're the go-getter, the decision maker, where you're supposed to show courage and walk towards your dream without being worried that you're gonna ruffle some feathers or somebody is gonna get upset or something else. The masculines have the card Elder, healing through the lineage. Actually, the solstice time is super powerful in terms of generational karma healing and ancestral lineage cleansing, working with those patterns. So see what comes up for you, masculine. See, it can be directly, you can see that when interacting with your family members, it can come up as some memories or some preconceived notions, some belief systems that you're like, I don't know why, like I hate XYZ from childhood, or I always had this habit of doing ABC when I'm, you know, whatever the situation is, right? It can seem small, but if it comes up to you during this time, there is something there, right? And I'm not saying that immediately you're supposed to change that, right? Some of it is good because some of that knowledge is like the Elder card suggests, you know, it's that wisdom from previous generations, right? But a lot of times it's either presented in a distorted manner so we can learn the necessary lessons and improve on it, or it's more hidden, right? Like it may be taken for granted by us. It's so intuitive that we don't always acknowledge that. So the way you can see that is from other people paying some compliments to you, or when you're noticing that other people are just not, I don't know, organized, disciplined, open-minded, thoughtful, compassionate, whatever, right? Like, you know that it's bothering you because you're like, well, how can you not get it? It's so simple. Like, pay attention to that. Come back to that thought and turn it around from being frustrated at somebody else towards showing gratitude to yourself and your ancestors for having that innate knowledge, that skill, that gift, whatever it is, right? That is so intuitive and easy for you, so flowy, that you just have it. You don't even think about it, right? That's the wisdom of the ancestors as well. Okay, let's get into tarot. Whew, that was a long one, but it's really good. Bottom of the deck, the Knight of Swords. Yep, we are in Mercury retrograde still, very actively in Mercury retrograde. I think it's been 2 weeks, 1 week. We're about 10 days actually. So we still have a couple of weeks to go, and yeah, it's a juicy one, especially depending on where, because the retrograde is in Sag and Capi, depending on where those are in your chart, which houses they're responsible for, that will matter. And of course, depending on you know, what's happening with Mercury in your chart as well, right? Like, what's the placement, what's the story behind it for your own chart. But of course, as the Knight of Swords is reminding us, in any case, it's connected with communication. So it can be different parts of your life. Communication in love, in self-image, you know, self-profile, communication about money, abundance, and public position. Communication about friendship, communication about long-term partnerships, communication about philosophy and religion, right? Like whatever it is, it's still the communication aspect of it. And that includes how you talk about it yourself, to yourself and to others. And of course, what do you take from what other people are bringing to you, to the table in terms of that topic, right? This is the time to reflect, to kind of live in it, right? Kind of like simmer in it and see what you want to keep and what needs to go. It's that kind of process during retrograde, speaking of which, right? 10 of Wands here at the bottom of this deck, which is exactly that understanding, right? What is no longer serving you needs to go, and what is useful, what is bringing value and needs to stay. And maybe you should say special thank you for that understanding, for that wisdom, and for those skills. So feminines, you have 5 of Pentacles clarified by 5 of Cups. It's like brrr, oof. And this one actually is winter, but I mean the traditional 5 of Pentacles in Rider-Waite is also in winter. But like in this card, we don't even have people, right? But it's just this concept of like feeling cold, feeling left out, feeling upset, like you've had some bad luck recently, something along those lines, right? And I just told you I want to give you some advice on how you can change that around by being grateful for things that do work, by being grateful for the lessons that you've learned, so that going forward you have that extra wisdom, extra knowledge, or you have at least a better understanding where it's coming from, where this pattern's coming from, what was your lesson in it, right? Why was it in your life? It's that understanding. It's part of the retrograde. And a lot of times the reason why it comes out as sadness, loneliness, feeling of lack is because a lot of it comes out as some negative experience, right? On the surface it is negative experience, but that's essentially that baseline for learning lessons. Masculines, you have 3 of Cups clarified by the Temperance. And in this deck, this 3 of Cups are kind of like feminine figures. And to me, especially when I see this come up in DM's energy, I'm immediately thinking about them, the way they see women, the way they treat women, the whole concept of gender, equality, inequality, tact, you know, that whole attitude, right? Between the different sexes, between different energies even, right? So if in your case you're a single sex couple, right, doesn't matter, you still have different energies. There's still that dynamic of masculine and feminine happening, right? So this is balancing out the whole idea about being friends with feminines, I'm hearing, and about the feminine energy and the way it presents itself in a physical form, right? This is pretty tangible. This is, of course, it includes looks, it includes body language, includes behavior, the way the feminine conducts themselves, right? And then how it reflects back onto masculine. and the feminine within them, right? So this, again, going back to Mercury retrograde, this brings back the triggers, the frustrations. Oops. Yep, got too close to it, I think. The frustrations, the past trauma, right? Because a lot of the prejudices form as part of personal negative experience, right? Like maybe they used to pick women of a certain type, like certain behavior, certain looks, right? Or maybe they had bad experience with women being over flirtatious and showing their sex appeal, and then they got burned with it. Or they could see how women were manipulating, right? And they just engraved it in their mindset that that's just how feminine energies are, right? That's how feminines are. So this is being rebalanced with the help of Archangel Michael and the guides, right? On the energetic level, this energy level. To see deeper meaning behind it, to see how it can be different, and the divine feminine plays a role in that from a positive side, but also see where this is coming from. This is not just like, oh yeah, that's just what women do, right? Or this is what men do, right? Like in each individual case, there's a story behind that. So it's helping to see that story. And then plus the cultural, societal engraving on top of it, where we have those expectations, right? And then how that mixture then creates somebody's behavior, right? And the way they present themselves. Something, again, to show kindness and compassion towards, rather than resentment, rather than pain and trauma, right? So turning that around, that's part of the retrograde for the masculines. Beautiful. This is a lengthy reading. Usually it's a short one, but yeah, let's see how it goes. Additional question. Five of Swords clarified by 2 of Wands. In this deck, this Five of Swords is about inner child healing. And again, we're just talking about triggers, right? This is connected, very much so. So from what I see, this Mercury retrograde is a lot about inner child healing, actually. And this is like making decisions, like revisiting your choices based on the knowledge that you've gotten as an adult in the specific area, right? So rather than just following instincts and subconscious patterns from childhood that were built in childhood, right? This is like, okay, I understand that this is like the most intuitive choice. Intuitive meaning like the more default automated choice for me, like the way my brain is programmed. But do I really want to go that way, or do I want to consider this option and maybe even more options, right? So what is this about for the feminines? Seven of Swords clarified by Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, these are the choices of truth versus convenience I'm hearing, right? What is a convenient choice, but what is a real noble choice? Let's put it that way, because truth is also a big word that is getting thrown around a lot, right? Like, what is the noble choice, right? The Wheel of Fortune is going to present that, so it's very visible, so it's like you can't miss it for the world. It's up to the feminine then to kind of like confirm that the message received kind of sign, you know, to confirm that the lesson has been learned. And then for masculines, we have Queen of Pentacles clarified by Page of Wands. Surprise, surprise, back to divine feminine. But I was just talking about the feminine patterns, right? And the Queen of Pentacles is kind of like the mother and the entrepreneur energy, both of those really. So it could be about mother healing, especially since we see Page here. So it's kind of like this difference, right? In the age, in life experience, relationship with mothers for a lot of them, or with other female, feminine figures of authority, right? It could be teachers, could be grandparents, could be even older siblings. But somebody that they used to look up to kind of learn from and take it as a rule, as a granted, as a like kind of like, this is axiomatic. We don't even need to discuss it. This is just the way it is, right? And now they're visiting what those concepts are and what is actually valid and what isn't, right? Because it's not like it's all rubbish, right? It's just that a lot of it is subjective and they're seeing it more clearly, including relationship with money. I'm hearing it's interesting, and especially the way feminines are making money or career opportunities, or the way they see themselves in the career stage. Additional twist to it. Will not be relevant for all of you watching, all of your DMs, but to a lot of them. How the feminine seeing masculines right now? Universe or the world? Clarified by 4 of Pentacles. So yeah, they're trying to hold on to the old world view. That's what I'm getting. Things are changing too fast, and masculines are struggling with like grasping onto the new, right? They're still holding on to the old. It's like if you're you know, like I'm seeing this image from an earthquake where like parts of the same land are kind of like going apart, and you're supposed to make a quick decision which part do you want to be in, because it's not going to be an option to like jump back and forth pretty soon, right? So they're like trying to hold on to what they know, and they're afraid to kind of jump across to something different, right? Because this seems safe, this seems like what I know. It's not ideal, but it's what I know, right? So there is that, but this is the major arcana, and some cycles are closing of holding back, of holding on to the old. And this is Capricorn, by the way, Capricorn energy. We just started Capricorn season. Happy birthday, Capricorns. And I feel like in this Capricorn season, that will be a big part of the learnings for the masculines, to stop holding back and stop being too like leaning to their beliefs, belongings, and lifestyle as it is right now. Wow! Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Masculine seen feminine. 3 of Swords clarified by 3 of Swords. Wow. This is big. And you know what? They feel it on the visceral level, this heartache, and the heartache that they brought to feminines. So there is this healing process. This is actually, in this deck, is supposed to be a lot about healing, right? Like there is this melting, there is the worms, there is the process. It's like work in progress of healing a broken heart. But they can see more clearly how much they've contributed to the broken heart, how much they didn't see the broken heart before, and how much they've contributed to it, right? So they are leaving the feminines to kind of like to tend to themselves. They send good wishes, prayers. If they don't, there are masculines watching, please do that. That will be helpful and supportive for your feminine. Also in terms of their healing towards you, right? Because that's a big part of it. Forgiveness and healing towards specific people who have caused damage. And yeah, it's just something that needs time. It's not something that they feel like they can actively contribute to, but you know, they just acknowledge that that's what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me today, guys. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Don't forget to like the video.